Good morning, students. Today we will study the new type of business which is known as joint Hindu family business. Basically, what does it mean? It means that all the members who are residing in the family or all the people who are living in the same family can do this kind of business. And the eldest member of the family, which is known as Karta, he is basically the head of the business. So we can say that this business is basically run by the members of the family, and the eldest member of the family control each and everything, and in business term it is known as karta. The second is it is governed by the Hindu law. The as we studied about in the last video that in that sole proprietorship you are not supposed to be affiliated or get affiliation from anything to start the business, but in this joint Hindu family you must be governed by the Hindu law, or you must be affiliated by the Hindu law. Now we will study the features. First is formation. This joint Hindu family business is basically formed by all the members who are living in the family, and they are governed by the Hindu Succession Act of 1956. This is the oldest form of business in which it is done by the members of the family so that they can run it more smoothly. So it is formed against the Hindu Succession Act of 1956. The next is liability. In liability, the main head of the family member or the eldest member of the family member is known as the Karta. Only he is the only one who is having the unlimited liability. Rest all people who are associated with the business, means the member of the family who are there, they have the limited liability. But the Karta, who is the head of the family, who is the head of the business, have unlimited liability because he has to manage and organize each and everything. So his liability is unlimited. Third is control. This basically means that the business is controlled by main who Karta. All the people who are living in the family, they help him to complete the work, but everything in the control is in the hand of Karta. So the family members who are the member of the family, they can start this business and they can run it successfully, but the main control is in the hand of the Karta. Next is continuity. This is the most important feature of this topic. This says that if the main head of the business, that is the Karta, if he or she dies, then what will happen? The business will not stop. As it was a drawback in sole proprietorship that if you are the only one who is organizing each and everything, if you die or something happens to you, then what will happen? The business will stop running. Okay, but in this, what we will do? If the Karta dies, suppose if the Karta dies, then what will happen? The business will go on. The next eldest member of the family will become the main owner of the business. So this business will continuously grow on as long as the life of all the people are there in the family members. Next, minor member. This means that as soon as the baby is born in the family, he becomes the member of joint Hindu family business, because this says that whether he is a minor or someone else, he has a proper authority or right in the joint Hindu family business, because this all business is run by the family members only. So this is the most important thing, that if a minor is there, he can also run the business of the same business which it is running right now. So these are the features. First, it is formed by the Hindu Succession Act of 1956. The liability of Karta is unlimited, but the members who are in the business, they have the limited liability except the Karta. The whole business is controlled by the Karta. Everything he has to organize. जो भी चीजें होती है वो सब उसको ऑर्गेनाइज करनी होती है, मैनेज करनी होती है, वो सब कर्ता का काम होता है. Continuity, this business will run till n number of years. As soon as the Karta dies, the next eldest person in the family takes his position. Next is the minor members. As soon as the baby is born, he is a part of a joint Hindu family business. Now students, we will study the merits of the joint Hindu family business. First is the effective control. This means that the head of the family or the head of the family member, which is known as the Karta, or he is also the head of the business. He has all the control in his or her hand. So whatever decision he has to take, he can consult with every other members of the family, but the decision is taken by him only. So he thinks each and every aspect of the decision, and then he can take the decision. So that's why we can say that it's effectively controlled, because the decision power is only in the one's hand. Second is continuity of the business. As I told you earlier also, that this business will run for n number of years. As soon as the one person of the or the Karta dies, what will happen? The next eldest member of the family take his position, and after that he will manage each and everything, or he will responsible for organizing and planning of each and everything in the business. So this business continuously grows on as the time is progressed. Okay. Third is limited liability of the member. This means that only Karta has unlimited liability, because he has to manage each and everything, and he has to run the business successfully. So whatever amount of capital is required, he is the only one who will have that capital, and he is the only one who will invest each and everything in the business and run it effectively and efficiently. So the liability of the Karta is unlimited, but all others members who are in the business, their liability is in the limited. So as much as the work has been assigned to him by the Karta, they will do only that amount of work. Next is increased loyalty. All the family members of all the members of the family run this business. So whatever the profit they will earn, that profit will be in their home only. So everyone will try to be loyal in doing the work. Everybody will put an effort for earning more and more profit, so that the family business can run smoothly and they can have a huge amount of profit for them. So these are the certain merits of the joint Hindu family business. First, it is effectively controlled by the Karta only, because he is the only member who is the head of the family. Second, continuity of the business. This business will run for n number of years. If the Karta dies, the next eldest person in the family becomes the head of the family or Karta. Next, the liability of the members of the business. That is, the Karta has unlimited liability, and all the other people who are associated with the business has the limited liability. Increased loyalty, because the family members are included in it, so they will do all the work with the help of loyalty, and they will be loyal towards their business, because whatever they will earn, that profit will be to them only. So what will happen? If they work nicely and sincerely, it will be good for them to earn more profit. Now students, we will study about the demerits of the joint Hindu family business. The first is that limited resources. This means that every business, whenever you start a business, you require a huge amount of capital to work. So what will happen? In this, the only thing is done by the Karta, because he is the head of the business, he is the head of the family, and he is the only one who controls each and everything. And he do the business by the ancestors' property which he has or which she has. He can do with that business. So ancestor property is also limited in nature. So the capital which you want to imply in this, that should be limited. So this is the basic disadvantage of this, that the amount of capital which is required in the business, that is limited in size, because the Karta uses the ancestors' money or property to do the work. Second is that unlimited liability of the Karta. This means that the Karta himself has to manage each and everything, the fund, how to control the business. He has to plan each and everything. So everything, whatever he do, that is to be done by him only. It might be possible that the decision taken by him might be wrong, and because of this, what will happen? A conflict may appear between the people of the business as well as the karta. So he has the unlimited liability and he has to manage each and everything for the business. Now we will study the third part, that is karta dominance. Karta is the head of the family as well as the head of the business, but the most important thing is that the decision which are taken by the karta sometimes create conflicts between the other member of the business, because of which what can happen, the relation between the karta and the member of the families may get worse. So in this point I want to say that the karta has a supreme power, and it might be possible that the decision taken by him may not be appreciated by everyone, or it might be possible that the decision taken by him is not for the good benefits of the business. So what will happen? The people who are with him in the business may oppose him, and what will happen at the last? The relation between the karta and the family members will end the great struggle. Fourth, limited managerial skill. As he is the head of the family, what he can do? He has limited skills to manage each and everything. But because every individual is not perfect, he cannot do each and everything by his own with excellence. So what problem can be there? The problem can be there that it might be possible that the decision which are taken by him, he is good in planning, but he is not good in controlling the things. So what can happen? The resources are wasted more, the capital will be more wasted, and in return we will not get sufficient amount of money. So these all are the drawbacks which a business may suffer, because the karta is the only one who has all the responsibility. Now we will study once again about the all four factors. First, limited resources, because the karta has the money or property of the ancestors, so he has to use only that. From that money he has to generate the profit and to run the business. Like the second is the limited liability of karta, unlimited liability of karta. This means that the karta or the head of the business has unlimited liability. Everything whatever he do, he has to manage by himself. Karta dominance, everything is managed and controlled by the karta. The decision taken by the karta only, and if the decision is wrong, then it becomes conflict between the members and the other members of the family. Limited managerial skill, every karta does not have each and every skills to perform. He cannot control everything, he cannot do everything, but still he has to do that because he is the head of the family. So it might be possible he take a wrong decision, and because of which the business may suffer. Now we will study about the next topic, that is partnership.